You have to be careful when you compliment people. You generally can't compliment people who are way above you in a status hierarchy, for example, because it's presumptuous. But peers, for sure.
Have you ever wondered why some relationships crumble while others stand the test of time? What if I told you that the secret lies not in what men reveal, but in what they strategically keep to themselves? Today, we're diving deep into the controversial psychology of masculine restraint and why certain aspects of the male experience should remain private in romantic relationships. Before we continue, let me be crystal clear about something. This isn't about deception or manipulation. This is about understanding the delicate balance between vulnerability and strength that creates lasting attraction and respect. The modern world tells men to share everything, to be completely open books. But what if this advice is actually destroying your relationships? Think about the most respected men in history. They understood something fundamental about human nature that we've forgotten in our rush toward total transparency. They knew that mystery isn't the enemy of intimacy.
People you love, generally, certainly people who are lower in the authority hierarchy than you.
Rather, it's one of its most powerful allies. The first thing a man must guard carefully is his deepest insecurities and fears about his own competence. Now listen carefully, because this is where most men get it wrong. I'm not talking about being dishonest about your struggles or pretending you're perfect. I'm talking about the difference between sharing your challenges and broadcasting your self-doubt. When you constantly voice your fears about whether you're good enough, smart enough, or capable enough, you're not being vulnerable in a healthy way. You're transferring the burden of your self-confidence onto your partner. Women are naturally drawn to strength and stability. This doesn't mean they want a robot without emotions. It means they want a man who faces his challenges with determination rather than seeking constant validation. Your internal battles with self-doubt are yours to fight. Share the struggle, but not the desperation.
It's unbelievable how little genuine encouragement many people need and how they have none.
Talk about what you're working on, not how hopeless you feel about your abilities. There's a profound difference between saying, "I'm facing some challenges at work that I'm determined to overcome," versus, "I don't think I'm smart enough for this job, and I'm probably going to fail." The second area requiring discretion involves your past romantic experiences and intimate details. This goes beyond simply avoiding comparisons. It's about understanding that your romantic history shapes your present, but it shouldn't dominate your current relationship's narrative. Your partner doesn't need to know every detail about your previous relationships. They don't need to hear about your past sexual experiences or be subjected to constant references to your exes. This information doesn't build trust or intimacy. Instead, it creates unnecessary insecurity and plants seeds of comparison that can poison even the strongest relationships. Keep your past where it belongs, in the past. Your current relationship deserves to exist in its own space, free from the ghosts of relationships that didn't work out. This isn't about hiding your history when directly asked, but about not volunteering information that serves no constructive purpose. The third element to protect is your complete financial picture, particularly in the early stages of relationships. Money conversations are necessary as relationships progress, but revealing every detail of your financial situation prematurely can create problems rather than solve them. This isn't about deception, it's about timing and appropriateness. Your complete financial status, including debts, investments, and future inheritance possibilities, should be revealed gradually as the relationship deepens and becomes more serious. Dumping all your financial information on someone early can either attract the wrong kind of attention or create unnecessary pressure on both sides. Build financial trust through actions rather than spreadsheets. Show that you're responsible with money through your choices and behavior. When the relationship reaches the point where financial planning becomes relevant, then full transparency becomes not just appropriate, but necessary. The fourth area requiring careful navigation involves your deepest family dysfunction and childhood traumas. Again, this isn't about living in denial or avoiding necessary healing conversations. It's about understanding that there's a difference between sharing your journey of growth and using your partner as a replacement for professional therapy.
For all the women who are listening, men too for that matter, if you're out with a guy and his orientation is, let's get it on, babe.
Your childhood experiences shaped you, but they don't need to become the central theme of your relationship. Process your deepest traumas with qualified professionals. Share the insights and growth that come from that work with your partner, but don't make her responsible for healing wounds that existed long before she arrived in your life. A healthy relationship should be a place of mutual support, not a rehabilitation center. When you've done the work on yourself, sharing your experiences can actually strengthen your bond. But unprocessed trauma often becomes a burden that relationships cannot bear. The fifth and perhaps most crucial element involves your moments of genuine weakness and breaking points. Every man has moments when he feels completely overwhelmed, defeated, or lost. These moments are human and natural, but they require careful handling within relationships. This doesn't mean becoming emotionally unavailable or pretending you don't have feelings. It means understanding that there's a difference between sharing your struggles and collapsing emotionally onto your partner. Women need to see that their men can weather storms, even when those storms are internal. When you're facing your darkest moments, process them first. Reach out to male friends, mentors, or professionals. Get your emotional footing back, then share the experience from a position of strength rather than desperation. This approach actually creates more intimacy because it shows emotional intelligence and self-awareness rather than emotional dependence. Now here's what all of this really means. Relationships thrive on polarity. This doesn't mean men can't be emotional or women can't be strong. It means understanding that masculine energy provides stability and direction, while feminine energy brings flow and intuition. When men constantly seek emotional validation and support for every internal struggle, this polarity collapses. The strongest relationships involve two complete individuals who choose to build something together. You cannot be a complete individual if you're constantly seeking external validation for your internal struggles. Do the work on yourself first, then bring the results of that work into your relationship.
If it's one night stand, there's no more reliable marker of his untamable, primordial, malevolent beastliness than that.
This approach isn't about creating fake personas or living dishonestly. It's about understanding that attraction and respect are built on a foundation of internal strength and self-possession. When you handle your internal world effectively, you create space for your relationship to focus on building something beautiful together rather than constantly managing your personal crises. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be whole. A whole man can share his vulnerabilities without being vulnerable in a way that undermines the relationship's foundation.
The best predictor of being a politically correct authoritarian, that's radical left-wing authoritarian attitude, was low verbal IQ.
He can be open without being an open wound that requires constant attention. True intimacy comes from two strong people choosing to be vulnerable with each other, not from two broken people trying to fix each other. Guard these 5 areas not to deceive, but to protect the very foundation that makes deep, lasting love possible.